So if I ask you, which of the following is the data? A number, a photograph, a video, or your fingerprint, or your location? The answer is all of them. But why? Let's understand. So hi everyone, welcome back to Mind Excite. In the previous lecture, we have learned what data analytics is and why companies around the world rely on it. Before we can analyze data, we first need to understand what data actually is. And that is what we are going to learn in this lecture. Data and its type from data science and analytics perspective. Now, why data classification matters? Just mention that data can be in any form. It can be in audio form, it can be in video form, it can be present in a Excel sheet, it can be present in the form of a text. The classification matters because if somebody says that you have to extract the data present in the form of a table, then might be I need to extract it in a different way. If somebody says that you have to extract the data from audio, then obviously we need some different tools. This is the reason that we have different classification of the data. So depends upon the data, we choose the tool or the technique. So the type of data determines which tool, models or analytical technique we have to apply. The pipeline integrity. Misclassifying data leads to flawed pipelines, poor model performance and misleading insights. Shared raw material. Data science and analytics share the same raw material but use it differently. So depends upon the data, we choose the tool and the technique. The first type of data that we have is structured data. The analyst comfort zone, for which we can extract the information very easily. Now you might be confused, I just said the word information. Remember, I told you the number 32, it's just a number. It can be anybody's roll number, it can be anybody's marks. I've not mentioned anything, I just said 32, so that's data for me. But when I'll assign the 32 to marks of a student, then it becomes information. So information is the useful insight that we need to extract from the data. And if data is present in the form of rows and tables, like in an Excel sheet, it might be very easy for me to understand, like what is the average marks of the students, like which student got the highest marks. But the data in other forms which is present, which might be present, makes a process difficult. So if the data is in the structured form, means organized in rows and columns, lives in relational databases such as SQL, Excel and data warehouses. So all of the transaction records, financial ledgers, CRM data and customer tables, sensor readings and IoT telemetry, they all stored in structured data because it's easy to query, aggregate and visualize. So the backbone of the traditional BI and reporting that you or one should might have structured data. The second type we have is unstructured data, which majority of the world's data is unstructured. 80 to 90% of the data is unstructured. Any data which you are getting or present in the form of audio, video refers to as unstructured data. There is no defined schema or any format. Currently I am speaking, that is also one form of data, but that is unstructured data. So data coming from text, documents, social, web, images, videos, they all are referred to as unstructured data. Now think about it. You saw the Instagram, right? You like any image, and in just few seconds, if you refresh, you might start seeing the similar kind of post. And what is happening? Data analytics. They are collecting the information from you and giving you the recommendations based upon the post that you like. You are liking a post, an image, or a video. Then they are extracting the information from there. So that is a kind of unstructured data. So they are collecting in the form of unstructured data, and then they need to use the tools or technique based upon that in order to extract the useful information from there. So this is why I mentioned that why data classification matters, because of the tool or techniques that we have to use. And the third kind of data we have semi-structured, which is the middle ground, which has some organizational properties but doesn't nearly fit into the relational tables. Commonly, mostly in APIs, web data pipelines, and modern application backends, like we see JSON file, HTML file, the data present on a web page. Yes, we can also extract that. We refer to as web scraping. But now the data is present in the form of a JSON file or HTML, web content that is present. So for this, we need a different tools and technology. So that is the kind of data referred to as semi-structured data. So that has been parsed and processed with Apache Spark, another tool which we have, Pandas or JQ, bringing the gap between raw and structured data. So this is why it matters that whether your data is structured, semi-structured, or it is unstructured. So these are the three different types of data. Real world use case by data type. So if your data is present in the form of structured, yes, fraud detection in banking using transaction tables, sales forecasting in retail via historical order data. Unstructured, sentiment analysis on customer reviews where they are giving the feedback in the form of a text, right, or in the form of a document, right, they are filling the form. For that, a different technology or tool we have to apply, and the technique used for this is NLP, natural language processing. Medical imaging diagnosis, the data present in the form of an image. For that, the technique used is computer vision. So we have to extract the information from an image. We need something with which we can extract the information from the image. So different technique. And if it is semi-structured, click stream analysis from web log files, real-time event processing via Kafka or JSON files. So these are the real world use cases by the data type. So choosing the right approach is very important. Match the storage to the data type. So if you have structured data, we can use RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. If the data is unstructured, yes, data lakes can be used, and if it is semi-structured, document stores can be used. Apply the right tool chain, SQL and BI tools for structured data, Python, machine learning frameworks, NLP libraries for unstructured and semi-structured data. So invest in data typing and metadata. Strong data typing and metadata management are the foundation of scalable and trustworthy analytics at any level. So in this lecture, we have learned that why data classification matters and what are the different types of data. So in the next lecture, we will be talking about different types of data analysis. So till then, keep learning and follow for more videos.